Yo sup, this is NY3 and today I'm going to be going over my post-Extreme Force Zefra deck. Now, yep, I did say Zefra and not Zefra Yangzings since Needle Fiber didn't come out, only Electrum did, so there's not much point touching the Yangzing half of the deck for now. So this is pretty much just pure Zefra. This video has been delayed quite a bit. The main reason is because I wanted to give the guys who are planning to run this deck at YCS Bochum the best chances. That tournament was just the past weekend. Congrats to everyone who did well. Now I'm not going to be doing a series of combo videos this time for this deck. The main reason is because I'm quite busy. Another reason is, this deck isn't like Metamorphose Yangzings where every card is just a copy of another. Every unique card in this deck has a unique function in a combo hand, which makes the permutations of different combo hands too huge. So what I'll do is at the end of this video, I'll run over an example hand, and hopefully you can get a feel of what type of plays this deck does from that. So as for the list, 3 Zefrath, 2 Zefra New, Zefra Thorben, Zefra Exciton, Zefra Wendy, and Zefraxi makes up the Zefra engine of the deck. Now Zefrath you want to open as much as possible. It's the reason why this deck is better than Magicians is because of Zefrath's existence pretty much. These guys you want to draw as less as possible. Since these suck at scales, they only let you pendulum summon Zefras, and this deck does a lot of non-Zefra pendulum summoning, so you never want these as your scales, hence the low number. But you can't run that low because that would make Zefrath worthless. The best ratio I found is 4 high scales to 2 low scales. Now the low scales are pretty much just utility. The high scales is where the number is important. So what you want to be doing is you want Zefrath to put Zefra New into the extra deck. That's the main play for Zefra, and then pendulum summoning out the Zefra New. So when that happens, your Zefrath is going to become a scale 7. That means your other scale would have to be a low scale. Now these 2 scales, the Zefrath and the low scale, there's a decent chance that they're not going to be blown up for quite a long time, which means you're stuck with them. And if that's the case, Zefrath has to put a scale 7 in from your main deck into the extra deck every turn for it to be able to pendulum summon out Zefra New. And to win these type of grind games, what I find is that most of the time you need 4 scale 7s. Any less you run out too quick, any more, and then, well, you're running more of these cards, which is what really talked about is not very good. The main possible alterations to this lineup would be the Zefra Wendy for the 3rd Zefra New. This deck lacks good normal summons, which is why I picked the Zefra Wendy over the 3rd Zefra New. Zefrath at 3, you definitely want to see this guy. He's also the main way to play around cherries. So when you get cherried for Electrum, it's fine as long as you can still pendulum summon Zefra New, since your opponent went voluntary neg1 and you still managed to generate a couple of negates through a pendulum summon of Zefra New. So you should still be winning that game. The next engine, the Mythical Beast engine. Now this engine is pretty nuts. So 3 Cerberus, 2 Jackal, and 1 Garuda. Now, what you want to be doing is making Electrum before you pendulum summon, since Electrum has 2 arrows, letting you pendulum summon out 2 instead of 1. So just making like a vanilla Link 2 with 2 arrows pointing downwards is an inherent +1 for a pendulum deck. Since you only allowed 1 normal summon, and you want to be making Electrum before your pendulum summon, you need to be running Electrum enablers, which are ways to special summon pendulum monsters onto the field. And Cerberus does exactly that. So Cerberus can pop itself to let you search one of these. Jackal can pop itself to special summon a Mythical Beast from the extra deck. So pretty much Cerberus for Jackal, Jackal for Cerberus, and you just special summon a pendulum monster. That alone pretty much warrants you running this engine. Like, Cerberus is pretty much a curtain raiser at that point already. But the fact that each of these have really broken as monster effects makes it even better. Jackal, this is the Kieran of 2018 pretty much. And this just like appears in your extra deck for free while you're doing the regular Cerberus play. Garuda is like an eccentric Archfiend, so it gives more utility to the Cerberus going second, but also going first. So say for example, if you open Cerberus and Jackal, you can use Cerberus to search Garuda instead, which you can normal summon. Jackal of course summons the Cerberus and then you normal summon the Garuda, letting you make Electrum that way. The Garuda's hand trap effect is also pretty cool. It's a bit win more, but you know, if you had a hand that could combo off and just the extra Garuda in your hand, you know, this guy's one extra negate. He can bounce entire pendulum summons as well. A lot of these cards are doubled up on, like Jackal, Zefra new. These are doubled up on mainly because of Astrograph. For the rest of the monsters, the Chronograph engine, the Astrograph engine, 1 Curtain Raiser, 1 Zero, 1 Darkworm, and 1 Destrudo. So these two are the only dragons to dump with the spell cards. This could also be double Darkworm. Destrudo is really good in grinds and is pretty good utility as well. The only times you want double Darkworm is if your build is either running Desires or if you open Darkworm with your like Foolish Burials and stuff. Destrudo also has first turn plays. Mainly it, you know, it's pretty dead if you open this. This is the only non-pendulum in the whole deck, so this is like kind of the deadest brick to draw. Like deader than this, deader than this. But it does open up some Meteor Burst plays, which can generate an extra negate, like if you open this. Yeah, Darkworm, quite possibly the best main deck card in the game right now. Astrograph is pretty good as well. But yeah, all of these guys, they're Electrum enablers. Chronograph, you can also summon out a Jackal in your hand sometimes to play around hand traps with like the Chronograph's monster effect. Time Gazer is really cool actually. It protects all your skills from Ghost Ogre and stuff. Some people don't read this and you just like win. Curtain Raiser, you could run more off, you could run less off. The cool thing about it is it's 2200 attack, so it can crash with naturally a beast, which is quite a big problem for this deck. Spells, Triple Providence, Triple Oracle, Triple Dragon Shrine, 1 Foolish. So you want to open Zefra as much as possible. Quite often you don't need all 5 cards in your hand to combo off. If the cards you don't need to combo off includes a Zefra Providence, then you can use it to search a trap instead, which makes this card really good. You just get a bonus negate on top of your usual combos if that happens. Yeah, you wanna, like, Darkworm is the best main deck monster in the game right now, so you want as much access to it as possible. Now, I say as much access as possible even though I'm not running the Ravine engine. Now, the Ravine engine is pretty good, mainly because Terraforming is a good card, so it gives you 3 more copies of Zefra if you run it, increased consistency of that side, and it also gives you 4 more copies, including the Ravine of Darkworm. So it's not bad, but Ravine is pretty bad going second, since it has a cost unlike these, so most likely it's just this. It's just this going second, except it costs 2 cards. And since you're going to be dealing with an opposing board, throwing away cards like that is the last thing you want to do. Yeah, but yeah, I do admit that it's pretty decent going first. But since I got the consistency level of this deck high enough already, the benefits are quite small. And traps, 1 of each. This is probably the worst one right now. Well, I mean, it's the most powerful one, but it's the most awkward to use since you want to use your Pendulum Summon Zefra New to extend your Electrum combos instead of leaving it up for 9 pillars. Yeah, it's pretty good in the grind. It's pretty good if you get hand trapped on the Electrum. Sometimes I pop my random scale with Electrum to get a Zefra scale so that we have access to the Pillars War play as well. Like, doing that generates 1 more disruption, like swapping out your random scale for Zefra scale after you've Pendulum Summoned. Yeah, you don't want to draw these going second. Again, if you draw these going first, with an okay hand, you just get +1 negate on top of whatever the hell you are doing. As for the lack of hand traps in the main deck, now hand traps being non-pendulum cards severely decrease the consistency of any pendulum-based deck. This deck can consistently break through 3 negates with a 6-card can going second, which is why hand traps are not needed, since no deck apart from this deck itself can consistently put up 4 negates turn 1. The FTK is the problem for the no hand trap playstyle, but it's not worth decreasing your overall consistency against every single matchup just to try and beat one matchup. I would rather side the hand traps for the FTK and try and win games 2 and 3. Well, games 2 you don't side anything because you're going first, just to win that game 3. Extra deck, Vortex, one of the end products. Metaverse Horus, still best level 6. Since I'm not running any hand traps, there's not much reason to run the Stardust Charge interaction with Oracle, since there's like nothing worth stacking and drawing. So the only level 6 synchro is Horus. 7s, Black Rose, Meteor Burst, Yazi. Yeah, they all get summoned quite often. 8s, Scrap Dragon, Omega. These are mainly made post-siding when I side in side frames, since the side frames can't make Electrum. Now I want to clear them out from the field so I can resolve my Dark Room and Grave and stuff like that. So yeah, these 2. Omega sometimes gets made without the side frames. You can summon this Druido. It usually happens when you have a level 6 and a level 7 on the field with this Druido. So you can make this Druido level 1 off the level 6 and then sync it with the 7 to make Omega. Exceeds, Naruto, and Absolute. This is the most optional card in the whole extra deck. You can replace this with any rank 6 or any rank 4. Now this could be like a Tornado Dragon or a Begzuka. Links, Underclock Taker, Double Electrum, Decode, Metatron, Borrowload. Yeah, Underclock Taker never gets made until this gets cherry, then this is definitely getting made. 2 Electrums instead of 3. For all combos this deck does, you only need 2. The third one is just for the follow-up, which shouldn't happen if you went through double Electrums. Decode's alright. Metatron, it's not as good as Decode, but I summon it more than Decode. Yeah, it's pretty weird. Metatron, having Zefra in its name is pretty interesting. Its effects actually happen slightly more than what I expected, and what I expected was pretty much that'll never happen, so it's slightly more than never. Now, since this is Zefra, it gets protected by Zefra Providence, which is pretty interesting. And sometimes, if you want to force Zefra War Life and you don't have any Zefra scales, you can make this guy. Borrowload, you just have to have it. Yeah, as you can see, I'm not running some of the more gimmicky combos. I mentioned the Stardust Charge stuff. There's also the Calamities combos, so going down the level 9 route. There's also Natural Beast combos. There's also Zeal combos with Beatrice and Gaia Charger. Yeah, I don't think any of these are really needed. The focus here has been to maximize the consistency of the main deck, and after that's done, see what combos you can do. And if those combos are acceptable, then you don't need to add random cards into your main deck, making it less consistent, because that would be overkill or win more. This deck already consistently ends on 4 negates, and I don't think any deck is really breaking that realistically and consistently. Yeah, which is why there's not many crazy gimmicky combos in this build. Zebra as a deck in the current format, I believe is the best deck of the format. It's a strictly better Magician deck with stronger turn 1 plays, more consistent turn 1 plays. You can play through more hand traps,